Which one?
Ticket to Ride?
Yeah, we played that, like last week.
Monopoly?
No. Battlestar Galactica? Yeah, I know, nothing with space.
You know how I feel about space-related games.
We haven't played Kingsburg in a while.
I've got it! Let's play Kingsburg!
Good idea.
Thank you.
You've got the time to take. You've got the time to make up your mind before it goes away. Oh, babe, you've got to take it slow.
Kingsburg is a game about building a city using dice. You use your dice to buy specific spots on the board. They give you resources. Resources allow you to buy things on your city, represented by this chart here. You roll the dice, and depending on the combination of stuff you get, you can then use your dice and claim spots on the board. You get points by buying things in your city. You keep track of your points by this scoreboard around the track. That's all it's used for. After a particular amount of rounds, 5 in this game, whoever has the most points wins. Now when you roll and you claim spots on the board, the spots give you resources. Like this spot here will give you gold, this spot here will give you wood. This spot here will give you gold or wood, or stone or wood. Your choice, one or the other, never both. Other spots will give you things like soldiers, or allow you to get extra points, or see a particular card later on in the game. After you've claimed something, the turn order then goes around the table. Turn order then goes around the table, and if it comes back to you, if you have dice left, you can then claim another spot.
What? I wanted to do. This game of Kingsburg brought to you by the refreshing taste of Mountain Dew. Do me, America. And also by Netflix, the leader in home movie entertainment. God damn, that's some good Netflix!
Jerry, I highly doubt that Mountain Dew will ever sponsor this video. Netflix, on the other hand, that's just a hell of a deal. $8.99 for all the movies you want to stream, that's just awesome.
Netflix, $9.99!
Now, at a particular point in the game, it may come up to where someone has the same particular type of dice. Now, after you've rolled, the dice actually stay in plain view in front of everybody. You can then look at someone else's dice and go, oh, okay, he has that. He has this and this. The total of that is 4. That's the only other spot he can get. I've got 4. I'm going to take that, so that way he can't. So there's a little bit of strategy in kind of dicking your friends out of other spots on the board. Now, when you claim your resources, wood, gold, or stone, every particular turn that you roll the dice, you're allowed to actually buy something on the board. These things allow you to change the game around in a little bit. So you could say buy something that will allow you to change your dice, get more soldiers, maybe even get extra dice down the road. These give you an advantage over other people in the game.
It's my preferred way of playing.
It is Jerry's preferred way of playing. Now, there are 5 years in the game, 5 rounds. Each round has seasons in it: spring, summer, fall, winter. Each season something happens. In the main season, spring, summer, fall, you roll the dice. That's when you'll claim parts on the board and possibly buy things. There are other seasons on the board, like half spring, half summer, that allow you to do other stuff. Like
blueberry picking!
Jerry, everybody knows blueberries aren't in season. Now, at the end of every particular year, there is a battle. There is a deck of cards that are numbered 1 through 5. First round, first year; second round, second year. On them are then also printed numbers: 2 through 4, 3 through 5, 4 through 6. At the end of every year, you need to fight a monster. Now, this monster gets more powerful every single year. So in the first year, the numbers represent that the monster is going to be a strength of at least 2, or at the most 4. Now this is important because there are spots on your sheet that will allow you to get soldiers. There are also spots on the board represented by this icon here that will allow you to have soldiers that last for 1 year. Not as good as like a spot on your board, but at the same time, like say you're in a quick fix, I need soldiers now in 1 turn, this is a plus. Represented by this track here, this is how you'll keep track of soldiers. You can then buy soldiers from the board, or whatever soldiers you got from this. You keep track of them each year. At the end of the year, the card is flipped over, however powerful that monster is. If you tied with it, well, you don't win or lose, which is good. If you're less than the strength of the monster, you'll actually lose something. It could be resources, it could even be a particular building on your board. When it takes away a building, it's going to take away the most valuable one. The most valuable buildings are worth the most points, obviously. At the end of every year, however, the king, so to speak, sees fit to send you soldiers. So you'll actually roll a dice at the end of the year, and whatever number comes up, everyone will get that amount of soldiers. So there is a bit of risk in, do I buy things that will like affect my dice rolls, or do I invest in things that give me soldiers? Jerry particularly loves this because he almost never buys soldiers except on the board. He'll never buy anything on the sheet that gives you soldiers.
No, my strategy is not that retarded. It's pretty simple. Why am I going to get soldiers when I can just as easily just save up money, take the hit loss in battle later on, and slowly accumulate my wealth? Sure, I could get soldiers to survive the battle, but most of the battles aren't that bad or detrimental to my supply. So I'm just going to take the hit each time and rely on the dice roll to give me a high number of soldiers, hopefully by luck, and then I'm just going to spend the rest of the time building up my massive amounts of fortunes. If I have money, who needs soldiers?
So there is a bit of risk management. Do I buy soldiers? Do I just risk it? Because there could be that 1 year where, a 6 is rolled, and I actually rolled a 6. There could be that 1 year where a 6 is rolled, and say it's year 1, year 2, even year 3. What do you know? Everyone's going to win. In year 4, in year 3 at worst, everyone's at least going to tie. And so if you bought items on your board that allow you to get soldiers, well, that seems kind of like a waste now. But say a 1 is rolled, and I don't have enough soldiers. Cards flipped over, maybe you just lose resources, which is, in the long scheme of things, not so bad. But then maybe you'll lose a building, and you've invested all those resources in a particular building. Well, that building's now gone. And if it's worth points, then you'd also go down on the score track. At the end of 5 years, whoever has the most points wins. Alright, these symbols on the board represent certain things you can get in game. Gold obviously means the gold cubes, wood obviously means the brown cubes, rock means the gray cubes, and then there are other spots, such as the Joker, who's only worth 1.
Let's just stop and take a minute real quick and appreciate the characters on this board. You have Fat Asian Sensei, you have Hot Busty Wench, working the 12th. I'm particularly fond of Paladin Knight wearing all gold armor at spot 10. Then, of course, I do super enjoy the guy up here who apparently gives you stone and is ripped out of his mind, followed by Sneaky Rapist, Gandalf the Grey, the Bitchy Queen, and finally the King, who looks eerily similar to this Gandalf down here, or excuse me, to this Gimli down here. You've got a Gimli and a Gimli again. Except this guy kind of looks like the fat guy from Super Mario Brothers.
He really does.
He does. Like, with a beard.
Jerry, you've named half this people on the board a rapist. Not everyone on the board is a rapist.
It's also ironic that anything that has wood on it is super creepy. Like Page Guy, who is holding some sort of parchment and looking at you as though you are a rapist who broke into his home. And, of course, Fat Sensei, who's all-knowing, though he has problems with diabetes. Hot Elron chick, who's Asian, I believe, of some sort, and yes, the Page over here in the corner, number 6, and he's holding some sort of rape goblet. I trust that man. I trust number 11. He looks like he's a trustworthy blacksmith who's just out for my best interest. And of course the guy up here with an interesting... if you'll notice, he is missing an eye, and in the other eye he has one of those gem examiners, making me think that he's a greedy jewel thief. However, he must be quite an inept one because he only has one eye. So, that is pretty much the rundown of this character board.
Yep. Whoever has the most points after 5 rounds is the winner.
got one on Kingsburg with a little side of rice. Kingsburg, I gotta play that Kingsburg. I gotta play that Kingsburg. Gotta play that Kingsburg. Gotta sit down and play. On Kingsburg. Holiday now, Kingsburg. Rock and cheese soup, Kingsburg. Kingsburg. Gotta play that Kingsburg. Gotta sit down in Kingsburg. Every freaking day, you know I'm Kingsburg.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why the queen space on the board blows.
Kiss it.
I will not kiss that.
Kiss the ring.
I will not kiss that ring.
Kiss the ring, part of the bet. Thank you. Your kingdom thanks you.
All hail Senator Jericus, the ass.
You shall be put to death.
And that is Kingsburg in a long shot. Aside from the queen, damn good game, I gotta say. One of my favorites. A bit unbalanced in some areas, but for the most part, quite balanced. You figure with the dice especially that the game wouldn't be that balanced, but it's so well designed that even if you roll low or high, there's almost always something for you to take. There's some route, if you get blocked somehow, you can take another spot on the board, which will give you something different or something just as close. It's just a well-rounded game. It's nice. Has a bit of a learning curve, but it's a good game.
I would say so. I agree that Kingsburg is Kingsburg. I'm going to take off this crown now.
You look like a steel ninja in a robe.
Thank you. Kingsburg is a well-designed game. I mean, it employs a lot of chances for opportunity. You can build a lot of different ways, which means that every gameplay experience can be kind of unique. But I will admit, on our 20th or 30th play of this game so far, 50th, we have hit a wall that is what we've explored all options there are to explore, which really isn't the board game's fault. I mean, you play anything enough, you're bound to hit that. But that is one of the flaws that we see now. It's just there's not too many new options to come. With the rumbles of the expansion in the distance, but besides that, there's not too many things that we can explore here, so it becomes a little tedious for us. But when we first started playing this game, we played it all the time.
It was just awesome.
It was constant.
Every game night. Kingsburg. We just played that. More Kingsburg.
For you casual gamers out there, the board is a little bit overwhelming at first. There's a lot of pieces and a lot of little things, but everything fits together quite well. It just, when you first see everything in all of its tiny little sealed off individual plastic bags, it becomes a little bit like Puerto Rico. Just too much stuff. But eventually it all fits together quite well. Creates quite a good game.
Yeah, it is one of those games that the first time you play, it's like, wow, And I'll be honest, the first time you play, if you play with experienced players like us, 99% of the time you will lose.
We will kill you.
But after your first game, you generally kind of get the idea, and okay, so this is how this works and this strategy, and by your second, third game tops, you kind of got the whole idea down. Easy game to jump into after your first game, hard to master, but damn good game. I give it a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10 is your rating?
Yep.
8 out of 10.
All hail Senator Jericus.
Da-da-da! Da-da-da! Oh, thank you very much. We would like to thank our sponsors, Mountain Dew and Netflix. That's right, Netflix. Oh, $9.99 a month. Don't you turn that off. Netflix.